Before the war, Moha was a peaceful and vibrant village filled with life, laughter, and community. The mornings were golden as women gathered at the village stream, exchanging stories while children played joyfully nearby. The marketplace bustled with the earthy scents of yams and roasted corn, and families worked the fields together, sowing seeds of hope for the future. In the evenings, the villagers gathered under the Udara tree to share stories of their ancestors, with Ukemdilim, a kind teacher, passing on wisdom to his sons, Chidi and Chima. Now an old man, Chima stands on a hill overlooking the ruins of his village, its stream overgrown, fields barren, and church abandoned. Memories flood back, of laughter, family, and Ijema's kindness, bringing both sorrow and resolve. As he whispers, "Never again," Chima carries the weight of his past but clings to a flicker of hope. His story is one of survival, a testament to remembering what was lost and ensuring the peace of Amoha lives on.
A veil of dusk descended upon the ruined village, casting the fractured earth in hues of bronze and shadow. The war had drained the land of its vitality, fields lay scorched, wells poisoned, and the familiar songs of evening had been replaced by the distant rumble of artillery fire. The once bustling market, where women haggled over yams and cassava, laughter bouncing off bamboo stalls, now lay skeletal, haunted by the wind. Children who once played freely now hid behind shattered walls, their soft whispers lost in the breeze. At the edge of the village, in a half-collapsed hut, Chidi, 12, and Chima, 8, clung to each other. Hunger had hollowed their bodies, their bellies grotesquely distended from malnutrition. Chidi held a dented tin cup filled with cassava flour, their only food for the coming days. They were alone, their parents taken by the unrelenting grip of war. But life had not always been so bleak. Chidi remembered a time when the world felt golden and safe. In the peaceful days before the war, their father, Nkemdelim, a teacher with a booming laugh and kind eyes, had guided the village children with wisdom and patience. After school, he would lead Chidi and Chima to the family farm, where they worked together. Their mother, Oluchi, dressed in her vibrant wrapper, would inspect the cassava stems and yam ridges, her hands moving deftly over the rich, brown soil. Chima, always the playful one, trailed after butterflies or helped by patting down the soil with his small, eager hands. Nkemdelim would smile, shaking his head fondly. After a long day on the farm, the boys would race to the village stream, their laughter echoing through the trees. Chidi could still feel the cool water on his skin, hear the splash as Chima jumped in, shouting with joy. They played football with other boys on dusty paths, chasing a ball made of cloth, their feet pounding against the earth until the sun dipped low, and their mother's voice called them home. It was a world of peace, of love, of family. A world shattered when the war came. The conflict swept through their village like a storm. Nkemdelim was the first to go. A mortar shell hit the marketplace while he was trading for salt. Wounded and fevered, he passed within days, his infection left untreated. Oluchi, determined to save her sons, left for months to find food and medicine. She never returned, the whispers in the village speaking of shrapnel and chaos. But amid the ruin, there were still glimpses of kindness. Ijema, their neighbor, was known for her generosity even before the war. She shared food with anyone in need, roasted yams, kola nuts, dried fish, her warm smile offering comfort. When the war turned her home to rubble, she still shared the little she had, especially with Chidi, Chima, and the other starving villagers. The boys also found a sanctuary within the modest clay-walled church. A priest and a nun had come to the village, bringing hope in the midst of devastation. The priest, tall and gentle, shielded the children when soldiers came, his arms spreading wide as if to guard them with faith alone. The nun, dressed in a dark habit, fed the children what little food she could gather, boiled yam, bitter leaves, or tin soup. At night, she sang to calm them, her voice soothing the smallest among them. Under the priest's guidance, the children learned the song, a hymn of comfort and strength.
Ewere molilanya nebe Chimono, ewere molilanya nebe Chukuno, nino mandam, nino mandam, etiere mokukwemo nebe Chimono, etiere mokukwemo nebe Chukuno. Nino mandamo, Nino mandamo.
Bia enudo, chinik, biai enudo. Come in peace, Lord, come in peace. Nanya jiak, oni enegu, in your love, we trust. Ndinuru onu enetigori, the lost shall not be forgotten. Chinik jiak po ho enudo. The Lord will call them to peace. It was this song they hummed softly when fear loomed like a shadow, a fragile thread tying them to hope. One night, Ijema arrived at the church, her silhouette dark against the faint glow of distant fires. Her voice was urgent. Father, sister, you must leave. They are coming. She turned to Chidi and Chima, pressing a small yam into Chidi's hand. I saved this for you, she whispered, her tears glistening. Go now. Quickly. The priest and nun gathered the children, leading them out of the church into the uncertain night. Ijema took Chidi's hand as they made their way through the ruined village, a maze of shadows and rubble. Around them, the cries of refugees, the distant bark of soldiers' orders, and the rumble of artillery fire filled the air. Near the ruins of an old cassava mill, they stopped, hoping to hide. But a soldier stepped from behind a broken wall, his rifle raised. Ijema stepped forward, shielding the children with her body. They are just children, she cried. The burst that followed was sharp and final. Ijema fell, her body still and silent. The priest stepped forward, spreading his arms wide to protect the children. No more blood, he said firmly. The nun knelt, her whispered prayers trembling on her lips. Run, Chidi, the nun urged. Chidi grabbed Chima, his heart pounding, and ran. The soldier followed, his boots crunching over the debris. The boy stumbled into a clearing churned by shellfire, shards of metal glinting in the moonlight. Chidi froze as his foot pressed onto something, a mine. A soft click echoed through the silence. Chidi's breath hitched. Slowly, he lowered Chima to the ground, pressing the yam into his brother's hands. Eat, Chima, he whispered. Run. Chima's wide, tear-filled eyes met his brother's. But. Go, Chidi said, forcing a smile that mirrored their mother's comforting look. Run. Chima crawled away, his small frame disappearing into the brush. The soldier's shadow loomed over Chidi as he shifted his weight. The explosion was blinding, a burst of light and sound that flattened the clearing. Hidden among the bushes, Chima clutched the yam to his chest, tears streaking his face. He understood the cost of his survival. Decades later, an old Chima stood on the highest hill overlooking the rebuilt village. The earth had healed, green fields now stretching where war had once left scars.
Ewere molilanya nebe Chimono, ewere molilanya nebe Chukuno, nino mandamo, nino mandamo. Etiere mokukwemo nebe Chimono, etiere mokukwemo n'ebe Chukwu nọ, n'ihi na ọmanda m n'ihi na ọmanda m enwere m ntụkwasị obi n'ebe Chi m nọ, enwere m ntụkwasị obi n'ebe Chukwu nọ, n'ihi na ọmanda m n'ihi na ọmanda m